about what we're talking about?
Well, I just happen
With
to
this
think
outfit.
about sometimes what we talk about is what they end up. We were watching on the television a few minutes ago about one size seems to fit all according to the Democratic Party.
Well, I mean, you don't have to talk to any female to know that one size doesn't fit all.
Oh, I know.
Whether it has to do with swimsuits,
Yeah.
clothes.
Because guys only have like a few sizes, big, medium, and small.
Well, sometimes women have small, medium, large.
Yeah, but there's not a whole lot of leeway. I mean, you know, like guys who got like 30 waistline and then big.
Well, because usually it hits the waistline, right? And then the belly comes over it.
Yeah.
And then it's just with the shoulders, unless you're wearing a fitted top.
Yeah, something like that. I'm only heavy from drinking like gallons of liquid a day, but we're going to try one size fits all, you know, healthcare. I'm a male. Do I need gynecology protection in my insurance policy?
And of course, I need a prostate exam.
Oh, yes. I know. You basically would tell people, yes, she is young enough to be my daughter. And do you need the same coverage that a person that has been around for 8 decades needs?
I sure hope not.
Do I need the coverage of a younger person?
Nope.
Same different exams, folks, but you got to pay for it in one size fits all.
Oh, you know what? We saw that the other day. Remember we were at, remember when I was getting my glasses and some guy had asked about it?
Yeah.
He said, what is all my bill?
Yeah, that's right. Because for some God unknown reason, the Democrats think that Republicans are just plain stupid. Republicans don't do anything, so they don't know anything. I mean, I doubt if Bonnyard and okay, they probably went to Walmart, I understand, and picked up clothes to do their Pledge on America thing. Guys wearing, you know, they got $500 hairstyles, wearing shirts and jeans that they picked up from Walmart.
Come on.
As I understand, they went to Walmart before they did their Pledge in America thing, because these guys don't. They're basically.
Oh, because they wanted to relate.
They want to relate. These are suits. These are. Anybody ever see Oral Roberts when he wasn't immaculately dressed?
No.
No, that's the Republican folks. They're stupid. I mean, okay, like they said, Democrats are known from forming a circle and shooting themselves. Republicans are just plain stupid. They're like they fought. Their leader is Moses. They're lost in the desert. They don't understand that people don't relate to a guy with a $500 hairdo and a $1,000 suit and $500 shoes and manicured nails. They relate to the guy that basically my hands are always dirty, my fingers are broken, because I've worked for a living. There's probably
Well, they would say they work for a living.
Oh, I heard that this morning. A person that, you know, they're basically the one size fits all on the business thing. That, have you ever worked for a living? I went to college and I lecture. But have you ever held a regular job? I lecture. Have you ever owned a business? I write books. That's what they get from the Obama advisors. Nobody's ever worked for a living. So they go to a book, they read a book, they write a book, and then one size always fits all in books. I mean, James Bond basically is good looking and he's got an accent. But that's not how that is in the real world. The James Bonds of England, MI5 and the organizations, basically they look like me.
Well, and why do they look like normal people?
Because they don't want to stand out like James Bond does. But in that world, everybody looks like James Bond. All of the British Secret Service agents look like him. Good-looking, tall,
part
attractive.
of it is if they all look like that, tall, good-looking, and attractive, then you don't stand out.
That's right. But since they're the only one in the room that looks like that, then they stand out. But just like they were talking about, one side, this swimsuit here is a one-size-fit-all.
Oh, that's right, it is, isn't it?
It's a one-size-fits-all. But like she was complaining, there is a problem in the top part because she's got factory-installed equipment, original factory-installed equipment. And it doesn't fit the top of the swimsuit like it designed for a person that is basically comes with enhancement.
Well, let's just say, yeah, it's like me wearing the same outfit as somebody with, what, like double Ds,
yeah,
36 double Ds or 34 double Ds.
Yeah.
It's not the same top, which means you have the same amount of material for both sides. One that looks smaller, one that looks bigger.
Yeah, and you know, most of the people, like, we use an example. If you're looking at the camera, this is the one size fits all. If you look at the bottom of her, look at from here down, put that on a woman today. Almost all the women's swimsuit bottoms are huge because they got big rear ends, which means it don't cover the bigger woman in the front side very well. Backside, it basically is expensive gathered backside, which means it's meant to be smaller in the back, but it's legal. But one size does not fit all women on the front of this suit. You get below the belly button, that suit's going to become illegal on a bigger woman, folks. So it doesn't fit all. I mean, you know, I know one size does not fit all in socks. I mean, they say, well, it fits, you know, all men should wear between this side and this side. Well, no, all men can't wear from this side to this side. You know, like they said, this jacket will fit all men over a certain height. Well, not if the guy's got a 48-inch chest and I got a 48-inch chest, so the things don't fit. But
you have a 48-inch chest?
Yeah. I'm big German. I over 200 pounds, 225. I'm a big person. I used to play tight end. They didn't have tight ends in my days. We had left outs.
Yeah, you were left out.
I was left out, and they say, "Oh, you poor person. They didn't let you come into the huddles." Well, actually, I didn't come into the huddles, but they didn't play. They didn't play, and then you tell the dumb person, "No, that's a position." I was a left out receiver, left out, not left out of the game. I was the left out. So, you know, there was a right out and a left out, and because I was big, today I'd be a tight end. Today, in those days, they didn't have time. Okay, now we're putting Mike Ditka. Basically, I think Mike Ditka and Kevin Winslow created the tight end because these were big, fast guys that before that were just left out and right out. And then they decided, well, these guys can also block, which I didn't do. I did not. I also kicked.
Well, that's because they were big guys.
Well, I'm big, but I'm not big. I'm not tall like they are, and they also outweighed me by about 25, 30 pounds too. So. They become tight ends. They also come in closer where I was a receiver. I was much faster than them, but you know, you can talk about that. One size does not fit all in football either. That's something because you have big guys that are fast, big guys that are slow. You have small guys that are slow, small guys that are fast. Baseball players, you have like you have a guy named Wynn was known as a toy cannon. He's about like this tall, and when he would coil out, he'd hit 300 plus home runs. Little Ricky Henderson was well over 6'4", 200 pounds.
So why would we be talking about one size fit all?
Because the Democrats are pushing that again.
Because they think that anybody that makes $200,000 a year is a millionaire.
Yeah, and it doesn't work. I'll put it this way: the city of Los Angeles. Is the standard of living is different in the city of Los Angeles than it is from Bakersfield, California. And it's different from Palmdale, California, and Riverside. It's different than, in San Diego is different than it is here. And San Diego is different than it is from Columbia, Missouri. And it's different than it is from Palm Springs. Because it depends upon, okay, we're heavily unionized in Los Angeles. Basically, everything costs like 5 times more than it should cost. Try getting a decent apartment for less than $2,000 a month, or buying a house for less than $2,500. You realize that the average, a lot of people in this country don't make as much money as it costs to rent an apartment in Los Angeles.
Here's the hard part is it's living somewhere where you can afford that you would live.
Yeah. But there are...
Which is why people spend a lot of their income on housing.
Yeah, there's 10 million people, or 8 million people living in places they can't afford in the Los Angeles County area. Because they're from paycheck to paycheck, they're trying to juggle the things. Basically, you don't go out, you're not going to Disneyland, you're not going to movies, which is why the movies in the Disney parks are down. Because they're juggling. And these people are not millionaires. But you'll see, okay, we're looking at buying a firehouse. We're looking at buying a firehouse to work out of. On the main street, the place looks like hell. You go into the back area of the firehouse and you see nothing but people's beautiful homes that they're putting together behind that firehouse. And you'd think on the front side, well, the front side basically is low income type stuff on the front side. The back side, one street, one size does not fit all. If you can afford on the, the people that can afford the front side can't afford the back side of the street. But that's the way it works. They're all trying the one size fits all approach. It does not work. Like, 2000. I mean, I'm living in a really crappy place for what I'm paying, folks. I mean, it really, I call it the hovel. It's hot because they have not entered the 21st century to no air conditioning. It basically said you pay for living in the past where they have overhead fans, which is a really cool thing in all homes today. Yeah, they try 100 degrees in the courtyard of where you're staying, and it's shaded. So, but I mean, we're, like in this building here, this building could not be afforded by most people today, which is fine, because it would be too god-awful expensive. And, but not a spring chick's not a millionaire. I'm not a, well, actually, I don't want to tell people that, but I once was. I actually made more than $200,000 a year, so I was a billionaire at one time in my life when I was younger. I didn't realize it, but at one time when I was working heavy in the industry, I was a billionaire according to Obama standards. My family would have been proud of me if they'd have known I was a billionaire. Of course, they'd have all wanted money, but no. But now I'm an old person. One size does not fit old for senior citizens. Like Scottsdale, Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, Las Vegas. Those are different areas. Los Angeles. Senior citizens basically pay less in Las Vegas than they do in Phoenix. A senior citizen pays more for maintenance here than he does in Phoenix, which is high, which isn't high. And that's the whole trick. I mean, the medical examinations for seniors are more expensive in one place than they are another, because, which is funny, that where the standard of living for seniors is less, the cost of medical care is higher.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of strange.
Because it's not a heavily populated area. Senior citizens in these retirement areas tend to go into areas that are outside of the communities where they can build these nice areas with golf courses and things for them to live. But what happens is when you put a whole bunch of seniors in one area, and it's an area where there's little medical care,
Right.
you end up paying more for the medical care. Whereas if you put the seniors in an area here that costs more money, the medical care is cheaper because of
There's more people.
There's more people. One size does not fit all in anything. But I mean, I was younger. They brought out the one size fits all automobile, and I've always been around 2'5" to 225 since I was dancing in movies. That big guy out there. I was trimmer, but I was really heavy. But I got into one of those one size fits all seats, and I'm trying to get my butt into the seat, and they give like. My mother's laughing at me, she said, well, you wanted that car, and, I had to go tear the seat out of the automobile, put another seat in.
Did you really?
Yeah, I couldn't sit in the seat that came with the car. Well, this seat's supposed to fit everybody. Well, it doesn't fit a person that's over 200 pounds. It fits like a 160, 170 pound person. And I only got, let's put it this way, I only got a 34-inch waistline. I don't have a huge butt, but it's still, not big enough. I sat there, unscrewed the thing, took the thing out, and your mother said, that you don't own that car yet. And I said, well, I'll put the seat back in later. But that was it. Why do you think they went to the straight seats and the back seats and the bucket seats?
Oh, that makes it easier.
Yeah, because they all of a sudden figured you can't put those bucket seats in the back car for fancy stuff because you got an awful lot of broad beam children.
Well, part of it is people especially realize, because if you go onto an airplane, unless you're in first class, right, or
Yep.
business class, but regular class, all the seats are the same.
And they don't fit right. I mean, like my youngest,